Hey everybody, we're going to go over what I call an overhead bar stretch, and this is a stretch for us to work on that overhead mobility. So what we mean about that is if I turn to the side, is how great can my arm come back without having to compensate with my spine, okay? So I should be able to keep an upright core and get my arms straight up and down. If I'm looking forward, it's nice to be able to see my ear, okay? If you're falling short of that position and you're coming up and your arm's here or here, we're lacking a little bit of range of motion in the shoulder. We're also probably lacking a little bit of mobility around the thoracic spine, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Here's a good stretch for us just to improve what we could do here around the shoulder. So I have my bar set up at about shoulder height. If you don't have a garage gym set up at home and you don't have a gym membership, you could absolutely do this on a tabletop or a countertop or even with your arms pressed against the wall. So I'm going to call it an overhead bar stretch, but by all means, use your imagination. All we're doing is putting our hands up on an elevated surface, okay? So with that being said, my arms are a little bit wider than my shoulders. This would be about the same height that I would do a push press, or same width that I would do a push press or a bench press or a push up, okay? And from here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep the trunk strong and braced, but I'm gonna bring my hips back, okay? So we're gonna get into kind of this position while our arm is overhead. So essentially we're pulling our arm back by moving our body, okay? So with both arms here, I'm gonna bring the hips back and chest down toward the floor without changing our spine position into the stretch, okay? And so here, you'll be feeling maybe a little bit around the shoulder and pec because that's gonna stretch out as your arms go back, okay? So if these are tight, especially if you like to do a lot of chest days, this is gonna get tight, okay? You're gonna lose some of that overhead mobility, okay? You'll probably lose a little bit of mobility in other places too, but get in this stretch, bring your hips back, and work on that mobility overhead.